right now.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is xPhoebus, and I'm joined here by Elthizar. How's it going?
I'm pretty good, thanks, Phoebus. How are you doing?
Pretty fine as well. So we are loading right here into a solo queue high elo plat game.
I think the person I'm spectating off is Platinum 5, so it's upper gold, lower plat, but definitely the people in this game know what they're doing, which means we should be able to see
Welcome to
some
Summoner's
big
Rift.
plays coming out at one point or another, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look at the matchups real quick. Um, we see a bit of an unusual team comp out of Red Team. How do you think that will play out?
Well, it's more likely than not that we're going to see Akali go in the top lane and we with the Karma in the mid. It just makes more sense to me at the very least. Akali doesn't necessarily trade best, have the best trades against a Yasuo, who will be the top laner on the blue side, but she'll do far better than a Karma. She has, of course, the Shroud of Twilight, which gives her stealth, so she can always pop that down at level 6 when Yasuo has the Steel Tempest knock-up charged, so that she can evade the possible ult, and then go aggressive when when that tornado is on cooldown.
You get right
Yeah.
back up. Minions have spawned.
Police. It's going to be dependent on how Vi uses them. Ooh, quite some bit of Q damage coming out of Karma right there.
Early game Karma Q damage is very strong though. Since Karma was tooled to being a support, Inner Flame has a considerably high base damage and a decent scaling as well. As we can see, she's got 44 AP and it's giving 27 bonus damage at level 1. So that's about, if my math is right off the top of my head, that's about a 0.6 or 0.7 AP ratio. And with the high base damage it has, means that she's in good shape for early trading. It depends on how she plays this matchup out, but a Karma can go really, really aggressive in lane at about level 3, level 4, as long as she's got 1 point in each of her skills.
Early trades coming out in the top lane. Yes, so getting the upper hand in that. With that E damage. Now the Ignite coming out of Yasuo. The first blood is going to come in for him. Well played right there, abusing that level 1 damage.
Yeah, and it just goes to show that you have to start Steel Tempest as Yasuo. Because, of course, if you charge up Sweeping Blade, you are going to get good damage out of it anyway. Every time you dash, you're stacking up 25% bonus damage, up to double the base damage amount. So, that's considerable amount of damage that was coming through onto Akali. I think he used it on her twice. That comboed with the auto attack damage that he was able to put down meant that he was able to pick up that first blood very, very easily indeed. And of course, Akali is basically at her weakest, level 1, level 2, before she can start actually getting those combos down.
Yeah, and Lucian walking a little bit in a trap right there. The Piltover Peacemaker misses though, so he's quite happily still at almost full HP. Now Leona going in, Zenith Blade hits, nice Black Shield there, preventing the stun right out of Leona. Trading a little bit back with the Piercing Light and Lightbringer passive.
In the meantime, Vi looks like she's going to be going aggressive on towards the top lane. Akali, of course, still only level 2. In she goes.
Yeah, she just hit that Vault Breaker and is really low right there. Now in the bot lane again, beautiful Black Shield's coming out, the stun onto Leona, pulls over Peacemaker, hits, and they get out safely. Vault Breaker flash in the top lane, the Shroud of Darkness preventing her certain death right there. Steel Tempest does not connect, and Akali gets out safely, but she probably has to back again.
That's
no,
the
she's
big
checking
risk
the
of trying to turret dive in Akali, though. That's the big risk, because she has a stealth. It's never a good idea to try and dive in Akali, and I think maybe they were going a little bit aggressive beyond their means, because the big combo for a Vi Yasuo is, of course, at level 6. Goes in with Assault and Battery, Yasuo combos it with the Last Breath. Very heavy damage, 8 CC, and it's almost a guaranteed kill, especially on someone squishy, so that's when Akali really, really needs to be worried.
Yeah, and Yasuo is still trying to trade with Akali now, misses the Wind Wall, Shroud of Darkness coming out, and Akali actually won that trade.
The fact that a good amount of damage had already been put down, and of course that Yasuo still has his ignite on cooldown, means that Akali can get away with being more aggressive. She has at least the summoner advantage, I suppose, since she has that ignite. If that can go down and she can put enough damage for that to tick, that even Flash isn't going to save Yasuo, as we saw when the first blood came out.
Little slow coming out. Ignite taken down. Will it be enough? It won't. He survives with just a sliver of health right there.
I love how he tried to predict the attack from Akali, though. He tried to predict Mark of the Assassin. He threw out Wind Wall to try and make sure that didn't happen. Akali did walk straight through it, putting down Shroud of Twilight, but
now the Zenith Blade hitting in the bot lane, but again a beautiful Black Shield coming out. The Dark Binding onto Leona, locking her up right there. The headshot damage out of Caitlyn, but they just trade back and forth into that bot lane.
It's always been common opinion that Morgana is probably the strongest support counter to a Leona because of that Black Shield, and we've seen it time and time again. Leona tries to go aggressive onto Lucian, and the Black Shield completely mitigates the aggression. It's like, yes, you landed on the face of my AD carry, but you aren't ever going to stun him, so there's no real threat there. So
yeah.
Unless Leona can try and bait out the Black Shield and go aggressive at level 6 with the Solar Flare, then it's unlikely that it kills me at picked up anytime soon.
Yeah, well played. Morgana really shuts down just Leona. Her base kit gets countered so hard by that Black Shield. Some aggression coming into the top lane. The level 6 of Yasuo's Steam Seal Tempest does not connect. The Ignite coming out, but the Shroud of Darkness again saving Akali right there.
Yep, Shroud of Twilight. It's the one thing that some people don't realize, and that's something that I actually thought for the longest time, is that Ignite, while it does give vision of the target, it does not work through stealth. So if you ignite a Twitch, he can still stealth up. Not necessarily going to work out for him, considering Yasuo actually taking a bunch of damage. He might get executed here. No, not quite. Ooh, level 6 trade in the mid lane as well.
The mantra Q right there hitting Orianna, but the resistances out of the Command Protect doing quite some work for Orianna.
Yeah, of course, Amumu being AFK briefly does mean that he is now 2 levels behind onto Vi, but she's just so insistent on staying with that again.
Command Shockwave coming out, the Assault and Battery locking Karma up right there with the Ignite, make for a kill in the mid lane. Now,
being aggressive as a Karma is usually taken as a given, I would say, but that's something you always need to watch out for. She didn't have sufficient warding, and even though she did have that ward there, Vi just came in, managed to get that Assault and Battery down, and the CC combos on blue team in general are pretty strong.
Yeah, the Orianna plus the Yasuo plus the Vi, but now a little trade in the top lane breaks out. Directed camera trolling me right there. Yeah, but just a little trade right there.
Yeah, nothing major to come of it just yet. I think the big fights are going to break out the moment Yasuo can land a knockup.
Now, Yasuo lands the knockup right there. Last Whisper coming out. No, Last Breath. And he killed her with the crit damage.
Yasuo, of course, very, very tricky to deal with in the top. Of course, meta is normally very tanky champions that don't deal a massive amount of early game damage, with the exception of a couple of champions like we see Renekton's who do quite good early game damage. But Yasuo is an odd one in that regard, and so is Akali, because of course they are pure breed damage dealers. You're never going to see one of those built with a Warmog's armor, basically. And to be honest, I don't think you're really going to see anyone built with a Warmog's armor, so terrible analogy on my part.
Oh, the ultimate count out of Leona, the shield out of Morgana, almost killing Lucian right there, but Morgana did a good job at protecting him right there.
Although Peacemaker narrowly missing it. Lucian as well, but he is going to make it back to base safely, and he's going to pick up that BF sword, so he's rushing for the Infinity Edge.
Yeah, and due to the Bloodthirster changes, we don't see Bloodthirster AD carries that much anymore.
Interestingly, I've actually seen Tristana's do it in the past. I've been playing quite a lot of solo queue lately, and never mind, I was about to say aggression queen bot lane, but
Black Shield preventing that.
yes, indeed. As I've been playing quite a lot of solo queue recently as AD carry, and I've actually seen a couple of occasions when Bloodthirster has still been picked up first item. I was against a Tristana in a game earlier today, actually, and she built Bloodthirster first, despite going 2-0 in lane, and it straight up allowed me on Lucian to just destroy her in trades. Because I went for Blade of the Ruin King and quickly following up with a Ghost.
Oh, the top lane gang coming in, Assault and Battery with the last breath. That ultimate combo right there, the Shroud of Twilight is now out. The knock-up out of the Steel Tempest. Amumu only level 6 now. The Eagle-Eye plus the crit coming out. Now Akali is certainly going to fall right here. And that's killing spree for Yasuo. Unfortunately, in the mid lane now, Karma dies as well to the command shockwave of Orianna. And it's just going so much in blue team's way right now.
As we've said, crowd control combos for blue are going to give them such an advantage. It was really up to red team to get the advantage early, and they haven't been able to do that. And Muma's not been able to gank, so it's like making things really hard for them.
The flash in the bot lane now, coming in out of Morgana and Caitlyn. And I really want to compliment that Morgana for playing that so well.
That was well-tempered aggression, I think is the best way to say that. That was the timing on the Soul Shackles was absolutely sublime. It meant that both flashes had to be burnt off Leona and Caitlyn. So trades, when it comes back to it, are going to be far more even.
Now Drake coming in for the blue team. Morgana planting that pink ward right there, denying the vision to the enemy team. And it seems like it's going to be a clean Drake. There's no one there to contest it.
Yeah, as you said, the vision was cleared away, and I'm fairly sure that that vision didn't actually have direct vision, at least, onto the dragon itself, so it was never actually going to be spotted out. And beyond that, of course, the bottom lane combo had been forced to back, and Moon was in the top side of his jungle, and there was very little he could actually do to stop that being done.
Right now, though, Amumu is not in the top side. He's putting down some pressure onto the bot lane, but we see Vi respawning by moving towards the Golem camp. Eclipse gets popped, but she smartly decides not to turret dive right there.
Yeah, 4-man stack from red team right now. That looks like they are putting a really concerted effort into getting this turret, and they kind of need one because, of course, they are 3 turrets down right now.
In the mid lane though, Karma and Orianna trade away a bit, and it seems like it's going into Orianna's way. The Command Protect, the Zenith Blade out of Leona coming out, the Soul of her locking Orianna up, and Akali popping that Mark of the Assassin for the huge damage.
And great roaming from Leona there, of course. That would have gone so differently had she not been there. Orianna would have almost certainly been able to pick up the kill. She still had Command Shockwave available, and he also had heal available to herself as well, so that crowd control combo really keeping Orianna down, allowing that kill to get picked up.
In the mid lane now, Karma and Vi, the Assault and Battery coming out, and there's nothing Karma can do right now.
Yeah, Karma's not had a good early game. She's 0-3 right now, which means she hasn't been able to really abuse her strength early game. Of course, she trades quite evenly with an Orianna, which often turns into a disadvantage, because if she can't...
Oh, the Zenith Blend land in the bot lane, Exhaust coming out, Ace in the hole comes out, and the Eclipse picks up the kill for Leona.
I think that's maybe why Crepper used to love playing Leona so much, because the amount of times you can just say, not my fault, I picked up that kill by accident, I didn't mean for Eclipse to go off right then, I totally didn't mean to get that triple kill.
Yes, comeback Crepper doing what he does best, kill stealing.
That's happened so many times before. Leona used to be my main support before Thresh came out.
Yeah.
And then just everybody switched to Thresh.
In the defense of the Thresh hype train, he's an awesome champion to play. He has so much possibility.
Mad Life, he is OP. As Mad Life said in the All-Star Challenge this year, he is an OP champion. And as you said, his utility is just so amazing that...
Orianna is caught in the mid lane though, the Command Shockwave coming out, the set of the Cursed Mummy locking Oriana up, and she flashes over the wall. No flash. Oh, the flash is actually up for Amumu. Comment Dissonance helping her escape, but Caitlyn is there flanking right now. The pulled over Peacemaker connects, and
Oh.
Oriana falls.
Very nice indeed. It does give Caitlyn a much needed kill. She did actually have the advantage over
The
Lucian. That's
bandage
really gonna
toss
help her
in the
stay
top lane, the wind wall blocking away the Mark of the Assassin, the Steel Tempest knockup is there, the shield coming out for Yasuo, but he is going to get shut down by Akali right now.
Great flash from Amumu as well. He got caught in the last breath, but managed to flash just as he came back down from it, meaning that Yasuo couldn't pick up a kill in that dire situation.
Yeah, and honestly, Red Team is starting to turn this game back in their favor. Like the gold lead is still there for Blue Team, but they're making making some major mistakes right now.
Yeah, and it's good roam from Red Team effectively right now, of course. We
The
saw
assault
Caitlyn
and battery though
trying-
coming out on Caitlyn, Vault Breaker knocking her back, and now Vi is in trouble, getting locked up there. The Soul Shackles coming out onto the carries. Oriana's there, the Command Shockwave is not available. Black Shield preventing the stun, the Ace of the Hole coming out onto Oriana. Zenith Blade comes out, Oriana is so low, and it seems like Yasuo is coming in for the cleanup. Gets stunned up, takes quite some damage, and decides to go out. Meanwhile, though, Amumu is still chasing that Morgana, and I think he's overstaying his welcome a bit right now. Gets exhausted, still picks up the kill though. The culling comes out, cleans up the minion wave, does not take down Amumu, and overall, again, Red Team picks the fights in their favor.
That must have been the most protracted fight I've seen protracted chase rather I've seen in a long time. Even at plat level, it seems that some people are just like, I can get him, I can get him, I can get him, I can get him. 30 seconds later, granted he did get her, but I'm not sure if it was actually worthwhile.
Now, the Vault Breaker coming out of behind the mid lane. Akali is still tanking the tower. The Twilight Shot not granting her the stealth under the tower, under the turret right there. And now the red team is pushing down in that bot lane. It seems like Vi is caught, but there's Yasuo, and the ultimate combo out of those two champions is so strong. But Akali somehow survives the knockup onto Amumu now, killing him right there. But Akali managed to get away there, and it's not over though. Now Akali heals up with their passive. Ooh, the command shockwave right there. Caitlyn is caught out now, and it seems like it's going to be an ace for. Is that a quarter kill? That's a quarter kill.
It is.
Holy shit.
Not quite a pentakill for the Oriana though, but I'm pretty sure she'll be happy with 4 kills. I wouldn't call it. It's not too shabby. It's not too shabby.
And it was quite a messy fight as well. Like, Akali got cut off at the start, then re-engaged, then died. It was not really a clean initiation out of both teams. Now the sweepers coming out on the dragon. Looks like there's nothing red team can do about this dragon right now. And
Yeah, this is absolutely going to be a completely uncontested second dragon right here. Vice might sit away, and that's going to further stack up the blue team's gold lead. It's up at about 6,000 right now. Of course, that's thanks to the kill lead and the tower lead. CS is actually, I was going to say fairly even, but it's not actually when you look at it, considering the fact that Yasuo has almost a 40 CS advantage over Akali, and Leona's going a little bit aggressive.
ooh, the solar flare onto Morgana coming out. Lucian blocks off the ace in the hole. Smart target choice there by Leona. And Vi is out of position right now. There's a Mumu. She did not expect him to be there. He does not decide to go aggressive right there.
Yasuo was rotating down there with Vi as well, so you see those two champions trying to synergize as much as they can. Every opportunity they can roam together so that that ult combo can go down. Because if Vi gets that engagement, then
But
Yasuo
Vi gets stunned up, the
pretty much-
bandage shots comes out, the Zenith Blade gets onto Lucian, Assault and Battery coming out, the skirts of the Sad Mummy locking both players up, and Vi falls to her demise.
Yeah, Orianna and Akali also trading in the top lane.
And I'm not sure if Orianna is the person you want to have in that top lane defending against an Akali.
No, she's doing very well for herself in terms of damage right now, but Akali has finished off the Hexa Gunblade, so that does put her in a very
Yasuo
nice
coming in, perfect wind wall from Yasuo. The crits coming down onto Karma. Ooh, the knockup does not bust. The Dark Binding connects, and that's the
Kill.
death for Leona. In the meanwhile, though, Orianna killed Akali in the top lane. I completely missed that.
And here I am saying that Akali should probably beat Orianna in trades. That was a very, very good shockwave out of Orianna. Pulls Akali away, allows Orianna enough time to just use her heal, keep kiting, because those 3 charges of the Shadow Dance were down, and pick up the kill. So she's now 6 and 2 with 2 assists and almost 200 CS as well at 21 minutes, which is quite impressive considering how, I suppose, splintered these fights have been. It's not been straight up lanes. It's been quite a lot of ganking, quite a lot of sporadic fights, and it's kind of difficult to get a large amount of gold, especially when fights are happening in the jungle or river quite a lot.
Hey, if we look at the gold lead right now, the lead on Orianna over Karma is massive. Like, enormous. Like, you can't even describe how massive that is at 20 minutes.
It's definitely very impressive, yes. And considering the fact that that's a considerable portion of her team's gold lead, I mean,
Yeah.
that's about half of her team's gold lead right now. You can see how much of an effect this Orianna is having on this game. Already got the Rabadon's Death Cap, already got the Athene's Unholy Grail, and she's going towards a Void Staff at 20 minutes. Very scary indeed.
Now, she is caught out a bit though. The Solar Flare coming out, Shockwave locking them up. The Curse of the Sad Mummy comes out. Leona and Akali are going to fall. Double kill coming out for Yasuo. Amumu still chasing the Command Protect, helping her escape right there.
And
Yeah.
that was just great positioning the blue team across the board. What was a 1v3, effectively, we saw Akali, we saw Leona, we saw Amumu.
Yasuo
all
going in for the
on.
tower dive with the support of that Black Shield. The Steel Tempest knocking her up, flashing afterwards. And he escapes with a sliver of health.
That has got to be. That is officially about. I think must have been about 25 health or even less
Yeah.
on that turret aggro.
Now,
And I'm quite
is
sure what
Lucian
Orianna
DC'd
is
right
doing.
now? It seems like Lucian did get a DC. That's unfortunate. Standing there as a free kill. Yeah.
And there it is. It's something we hate to see, but it's I suppose this isn't LCS. We can't just pause when someone disconnects because that's not how this works.
A summoner has reconnected.
Fortunately, though, he reconnected, so he's not going to. Yeah, that disconnect was just one death. If blue team are going to be able to defend this in a turret, which with the likes of Orianna, it's going to be quite easy. Not that much of an impact out of the disconnect.
Yeah, another 60 seconds until the third dragon respawns, and red team really needs to pick this up. Either that or pick a really, really good fight at dragon as Leona goes in.
Leona goes in onto Vi indeed, but Leona is caught out right now. And what is Orianna doing? She's caught out in the backline, but Yasuo coming in big in that fight right now. Critting everyone right there. He's on a triple kill right now. Still going though with the red buff slow. Is it going to be a quadra kill? Is he going to get the pentakill? He has not a single target for the E, but he's chasing through the tower. The minions are there. He decides not to go for it in the end though, and goes for the save tower. But he's no, it's gone. Leona respawned though, so there's no chance he's going to get the pentakill. But the second quadra kill in this game.
Absolutely, and since Yasuo has picked up the Infinity Edge static shift, he's got a 100% crit chance, so he is absolutely shredding everybody on the map right now. He's picked up Blade of the Ruined King as well to further amplify his damage and give him some lifesteal, and if he picks up something like a Last Whisper as well, then there is absolutely nothing I think anyone on the red team can do to stop him.
Yeah, with the armor penetration coming out of the Last Breath plus the Last Whisper, who can deal with that at this point? Now Orianna is caught out a bit. Meanwhile, though, blue team is doing Dragon the Comment, Shockwave helping her get away right there. She's kiting that Akali quite well. Ooh, and that's a lot of damage coming out the Comment attack and Dissonance combo.
And bring forth the burst. Orianna's still not quite finished off that void stuff, but I'm pretty sure this back will bring that to her. And yet another champion that the entirety of red team just can't really seem to deal with right now unless they focus everything onto them.
And even then, Orianna is going to be able to shockwave onto herself. Then the Yasuo comes out. There's still the Black Shield, which can be a safety shield for Orianna if she gets caught out and focused. So I don't think there's a way for blue team to deal with these two super fed members of the blue team.
Absolutely, and that Amphine Tome just been picked up by Orianna as well is, I think, fairly likely to go towards Zhonya's Hourglass. So once that's picked up, combined with Shockwave, combined with the Black Shield, then she really is going to be invincible.
Yeah, and right now we see the blue team getting control over the Barrier area, using that sweeper to clear it, and they're setting up a trap. The Assault and Battery comes out, goes deep into the lines of the enemy team. Ooh, a beautiful Curse of the Sad Mummy coming out of Amumu right there, but it doesn't do anything in that terms. The Comment Shockwave hitting the Stealth Akali. She's going to fall, and they're trying to chase right now, but Karma is too fast.
And that fight could have been a clean ace, I'm fairly sure, if Vi hadn't gone so deep for that Assault and Battery. She went so far aggressive that Yasuo couldn't follow up with the Last Breath, so the damage wasn't quite enough to just melt down the squishies.
And
had he been able to ban that, I'm fairly certain that they would have all got melted down, and this would almost have been game.
yeah, they're going for the Baron right now, which seems like a sure thing. If Vi can... Oh, that was actually really close. If Karma could have stolen that, that would have maybe helped them get back into this game. But I think Orianna is overstaying her welcome right now. Leona comes in the Eclipse. Will get the kill, or will it? It's the ace in the hole. Yasuo is there though. Is incredibly fed. Last breath coming out of him. Almost instantly deletes that Caitlyn. That's a triple kill. Is it going to be a quadra kill? It is going to be another quadra kill for Yasuo. I mean...
The blow shield saves him from the ignite too.
I mean... Is that legit? Is he's so incredibly fed. I think he's going to be picking up his last item. Okay, no, he is almost 2k gold right now, but he's almost full build. He's almost at that 6 item point.
When you're 18-2 at 28 minutes, this is the sort of situation. People have said time and time again in solo queue, when is there a time to call quits? And my definition has always been, if the enemy team is at least has got a Baron and a Singed on their team, that's a good time. In this case, it's an 18 kill Yasuo. This is very dicey.
I honestly don't think that red team are going to win this in any way, but I would not surrender this game, because why should you surrender before there's even an inhibitor taken down? So until you still have all your inhibitors, there's no real need to surrender. But Vi is caught out a little bit in the bot lane. Zenith Blade comes out, gets stunned up. Akali putting down the flash, the solar flare cancelling that vault breaker, but she's dealing quite some damage backwards onto Akali, not going to be able. But Yasuo is there, critting down Akali. The Dark Binding misses though, the red buff onto Morgana, not getting used right there. The flash from Lucian secures that kill for his team, and It seems like they're going to try and take down that bottom lane inhibitor.
And they're just splitting Red's resources right now. 2 members dead, which effectively means they need to have 2 people bottom lane and 1 top. In this case, they're actually sending 2 top to deal with just Orianna. This is a bad choice, I think.
I think that it's not that bad, because who can deal... There are 3 people with an 80 and 2 Yasuo, nobody can deal with that. But they can wave clear as 2 persons against 1 Orianna. Whereas if there was a 1v1 in the top lane, Orianna could be able to burst you down.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So maybe it's not that bad. Now the
No,
ace in
maybe
the hole,
not, but we are going to lose the
coming
second
out.
inhibitor turret, though.
And Karma gets deleted right there by the shockwave. Mumu is there, the curse of the sad mummy. The Zhonya's is not available for Orianna. Morgana gets caught right there, falls to Akali, but Yasuo is still putting out tons of damage right there. And it seems like Orianna has turned that fight upside down, now chasing Amumu, and Akali going in there into her safe death by the 100% crit chance Yasuo, and now it's time to surrender.
This is effectively game right now. Pretty much the strongest fight we've seen come out, of course. Or rather, the most convincing, I suppose.
Yeah.
4 members down. There's the ace. In fact, not quite the ace since Karma just respawned, but she's going to get
Did
melted.
you see that? Yasuo just melting Karma right there under the Nexus tower with the help of the crits and the shield. This is game right now, and an incredibly well played Yasuo carrying his team.
The crowd control combos, of course, with the mid lane and the jungle were absolutely outstanding. The one fight where Red Team should have had a significant advantage, where they caught out Orianna so far away from her team, it got turned on its head the moment Orianna just shockwaved on herself, hit 3 members of Red Team, and Yasuo followed up with the last breath. 100% crit chance, melted them down, and he finishes the game 21, 2, and 10. He had a grand total of 19,000 gold, which is almost 4,000 more than the Orianna. And
Yeah.
she was pretty fed herself.
So if you look at it, that's a almost 30,000 gold lead for the blue team. Every single member of the red team is behind at least 3k gold. Some incredibly huge numbers for 9k gold lead out of Yasuo onto Akali, 8k out of Orianna onto Karma, so they got really destroyed.
The big thing I think that was said, and this was taken from the LCS, Tabs was saying about Caitlyn. She's an incredibly strong pick, but she needs to farm up. And she did have 249 CS, which is quite impressive, but I don't think she was farmed anywhere near enough, because she just didn't have the damage to try and, dissuade Yasuo from going into a fight, or try and dissuade Orianna from going too aggressive, because she could always jump towards her and try and snipe her down. There was not enough straight up damage threats outside of Akali, and she wasn't that massive a deal.
Honestly,
Effectively,
though,
Red Team had.
yeah, honestly, I disagree with you though, because I think Caitlyn did what she could. Their bot lane was such a favorable matchup due to the Morgana, and she managed to outfarm Lucian. But if you're the only real threat on your team, like I don't see Akali as a threat. Yeah, she picked up kills. She's Akali, but as soon as she jumped in, she just got instantly blown. So she didn't have the Zhonya's. I think that Caitlyn played this as well as she could, honestly.
Looking at it that way, of course, you know what? I'm just going to say I was wrong. That, or was I? Plot
Oh.
twist. We will leave you on that cliffhanger, folks.
Okay, so who do you think is the MVP, real quick? And
Do you even need to ask?
I think it's Yasuo, probably. But I want to still give some credit to the Morgana. She played that bot lane matchup really well.
Orianna as well, of course. Those shockwaves were really, really good.
Yeah. Honestly, all the members of the blue team played that phenomenally. So that's it for now, folks. I'd say bye bye and see you again soon, I guess.
Farewell.